Hey playa, welcome to another YouTube live stream here. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single Monday through Friday, I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. Now, today I wanted to talk to you guys about some really awkward first dates that I've had, different girls that I've gone on dates with, my experiences with that. All week long, I've been talking about dating tips for beginners. So I wanted to kind of fill you in on my own experience, on my own first dates with people, what it was like, and why these dates were so incredibly weird. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone that's here on the stream. I know some of you guys got the notification. If you don't have that turned on, make sure when you subscribe, click on the notification bell so you can get notified every single time I go live every Thursday and every single time I upload a new video every Monday through Friday. So I'm going to jump in, look at the chat here, say hello to a few people that I see that are regulars. Anthony, good to see you again. Brandon Jackson says, hey. Falzar Gaming, good to see you again, man. Ethan's here. Alex Martinez, King Neo, playing around with Malik. Deadly Bomber, Rich Mitch, Thomas Turner, The Punisher, Game Wizard, Lyndon Hendricks. Thank you guys for being some of the first people here on the live stream. Now, before I go into my own experience with first dates and kind of the awkwardness, I want to ask a general question here. I want you guys to either post a thumbs up emoji or a thumbs down emoji. Have you ever had a first date before? I know some of you guys have been on dates with girls, some of you haven't, but I want you to share your experience here in the chat. Post a thumbs up if you have been on a first date before. Post a thumbs down if you haven't. It's okay. There's no shame here. No one's going to be made fun of. No one's here to feel bad. We all have different experiences, and we're all at different levels of experience. So I think it's important for us to kind of really look at where everyone is, get a full understanding of that so that we could be real about it. So I'm seeing a lot of thumbs downs as far as having a first date here. Shocker, Falzar, Nicholas, Anthony, Rich, Mitch, King Leo. Ethan says, kind of a date, not really. Yeah, I can hear where you're coming from. We're all thumbs down. Yeah, okay. So it sounds like a lot of people haven't really had their first date yet. So hopefully the videos I've been making this week are helpful. These are all dating tips for beginners. I know a lot of you guys want to get more comfortable dating. You want to get more comfortable approaching your crush, talking to them, really building a connection with them. But then there are times where you try to build a connection with someone and it doesn't quite work out how you want it to. Now, I am going to be sharing different stories, but there is going to be a Q&A portion. So if you guys have questions on first dates, on dating in general, on how to approach someone, how to kiss someone, any of those things, feel free to leave them in the chat. I'm going to get through them and answer some of your questions in between the stories. But I do want to tell you guys about the first story here because I think the first story that I wanted to share is a pretty funny one. It's a pretty awkward experience because, and I've done a video on this in the past. I've done a video on this on a girl that rejected me twice, but it's a funny story. All right, let me just tell it. So anyway, there was this girl that one of my friends told me, like, she said, hey, there's this girl that I know. I think she'd be perfect for you. You both have the same personality, the same sense of humor. You guys would really like each other. And I thought, that's cool. Hey, you're going to hook me up with your friend. I'm down for that. So she showed me pictures of this girl. She told me where she was from. So I knew a lot about the girl before I even met her. I think that's kind of the age that we live in now. You learn about everyone through their social media profiles before you actually meet them. But my friend was going to introduce me to this girl. And then one day I was out with my friends, one like random Friday or Saturday night, and I saw this girl at the bar. And she was just hanging out there with her friends. And I told myself, all right, perfect. Like, I already know a lot about her. Let me just kind of approach her and start talking to her and try to build it from there. I didn't even bring up the fact that we had a mutual friend, but I think she also knew, and neither me or the girl kind of mentioned the mutual friend, but I think we both knew who the other person was because we both did a little bit of Facebook stalking. But anyway, so Thomas Turner's asking how old was I? I think it was in my early 20s, maybe. I was maybe like 23 or 24. I don't really remember exactly, but I was pretty early 20s, I'd say. And I walk up to this girl and I start talking to her and things are going good. She's vibing with me. We're talking, we're having fun. We're enjoying each other's company. I get her phone number and I tell myself, okay, I'm going to ask her to hang out one day. We're going to go on a date. It's going to be fun. So, okay, time rolls around where I'm texting her here and there and I ask her to hang out. So we agree to hang out. The two of us meet up and for some reason, I felt so much more comfortable in a social setting with a lot of people, but I felt like not uncomfortable, but a little nervous and awkward when I was around her alone. So we were hanging out together, and the whole time we're hanging out together, just one-on-one, I kept thinking to myself, okay, like, should I like put my arm around her? Should I flirt with her? How should I go for a kiss? How should I kind of approach the situation? So it was kind of awkward for me because I didn't really know what to do in that situation. And I think for her, she was just playful, very open with it. And I think she was waiting for me to make a move or waiting for me to kind of launch into something and do something. But I didn't really do that. I kind of just froze up a little bit and got really, really nervous. And I remember I was walking down the block and it's like, I kept telling myself, okay, should I go for the kiss now? Should I go for the kiss when we run out of things to talk about? Should I kiss her at the end of the night? Should I just pull her and kiss her now? Like, I didn't know how to really go into that situation. I felt kind of like I hit a roadblock where I spend more time in my own head trying to process and think about what I should do rather than actually acting on it. Have you guys ever felt like that before? I'm curious to know how many of you guys have been in situations where you're around your crush or you're around someone that you like and you want to like make a move, you want to do something, but you just don't know when is the right time or what is the right way to go about it. If you've ever been in a situation like that, I see Deadly Bomber posted a crying emoji face. Post a crying emoji face if you've been in a situation like that where you've wanted to make a move, but you just didn't know what to do. You just kind of froze up or you spent too much time in your head. That was the kind of state of being that I was in that moment. I got so hung up on making a move and doing something right that the whole experience was just awkward on that first date. So I remember this is the most awkward part of the night. At the end of the night, I kept telling myself, okay, before I walk her to her door and say goodbye, I'm going to kiss her, right? I kept telling myself, this is what I'm going to do. This is my game plan. And as we got closer and closer, we kept stopping at random points on the block. So it's like her house is here and we'd stop like over here just to talk. And then we'd stop over here to talk, stop over here to talk. And I think each time we did that, she was hoping that I would kind of like lean in and kiss her or do something flirtatious or say something. But I just kept kind of like you ever run out of things to say and just freeze up in the moment, so you just start saying dumb things? I just kept doing that. I was like, so tell me about this and tell me about that. Instead of leading it into something that could have been a real bonding experience, I just stayed talking about like silly things. So see, Magadeel, Game Wizard, Rich, Alex, Lyndon, all of you guys posted these kind of sad crying faces. I mean, you guys can relate. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about when I say that like, it sucks when you're in those situations and you just don't know what to do or what to say. So anyway, so I get to the point where I'm at her door and I'm telling myself, this is really now or never. This is the last point of the night. And I go to lean in for a kiss. And I'm curious to know, before I tell you guys what happened, I want you guys to answer in the chat. What do you think happened in that moment? At the end of the night, when I didn't interact with her, I didn't really flirt with her that much, I just kind of stayed in my own head. Do you think she kissed me back? Do you think she rejected me? Do you think she smacked me across the face? I want to know what you guys think happened in that moment. I'm going to look at some of your comments before I tell you what actually happened. So Magdeal says, yeah, you said my name right. Cool. It's either I get it right or I get it wrong. So I'm happy that I got it right. Playing with Malik says he thinks I got rejected. Alex Arroyo says I lost interest. Thomas Turner thinks she slapped me. Game Wizard says maybe a kiss. Anthony says she kissed you back. Magdeal says she kissed you back. Alex says lost. So there's a different mix of what you guys think may have happened. Well, what actually happened was I went for the kiss and she kind of like turned and gave me the cheek and like kind of is like, oh, okay. And it was so awkward and it was so weird. And it's like, I don't know can you guys hear those fire trucks in the background? Maybe it's just me. I don't know if the microphone's actually picking it up. But she kind of just gave me that whole, gave me the cheek thing. I kissed her on the cheek and I said, okay, well, I'll call you another time. Bye. And it's like as soon as she closed the doors and I started walking home, I was like, instantly overcome with dread. It's like, what did I do? Where did I mess up? Where did I go wrong? Like I thought things were going good and I thought she was receptive, but what ended up really happening was that because I didn't really set up for the whole night, this kind of back and forth playfulness where it's like, she was anticipating that kiss. Instead, I just came off awkward and quiet and weird the whole time. I think she just lost interest by the end of the night. She started to feel like, okay, like this guy's just not making a move. This is not really fun. We're just kind of walking around at this point, and that's where we were. So that was kind of the setup there for the first date. Now there was a second date, and this one gets even weirder, guys. But before I tell you the second part of that, the second date we went on and why it was so awkward, I do want to jump in and answer some of you guys' questions. I want to know what you guys are going through. Can you guys relate to that situation? Do you have a situation you do want to talk about or something that you've been dealing with? Let's look at. So Lyndon thought she stormed off. The Shocker says, what do you do when a girl tells you you're shy? Yeah, that's a good question, Shocker. So if a girl is telling you that you're shy, which I think she means is that she's seeing that feels maybe a little due around her. And she may mean that like you're not making eye contact with her. You're kind of being short on your words, saying things like, oh, hey, how's it going? I have a video that I did. I don't know if I think it's coming out next week or this week. I don't remember. I did a video on that where I talk about the importance of eye contact and body language and really just kind of showcasing a bit of yourself and being confident in who you are, because the way that a girl or a crush would read that is, wow, this guy is sure of himself. He's not nervous. He's not scared. And that's the kind of guy I want to be around. So that's the kind of environment you want. If a girl is telling you you're shy, I would try to reevaluate how you present yourself whenever you're around a girl. Magdeal says, how can you tell? Hey, can you tell me how to ask my friend out? We've been friends since kindergarten. So that's a good question. I mean, I get this question a lot where it's like you've been friends with your crush for a long time, years, a decade or more, whatever it's been. You guys have always been friends. All you've ever known is being friends with each other. But now things are different. You've started to develop feelings for them and you're not really sure what to do about them. So in those type of situations where you're not really sure what to do about your feelings, I think what the important thing is you need to start establishing that you like them rather than you are just friends with them. And I think a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people are afraid that if they start to change the direction of how you interact with them, you might lose them as a friend. And the reality is that's something you need to take into account. You need to accept the fact that it's possible that if you start to approach them, if you ask them to hang out, if you make a move, they may say, whoa, I only see you as a friend. And then at that point, you have to decide, am I okay with just being friends and hiding my feelings, which I wouldn't recommend doing? Or if I feel this way and she doesn't reciprocate, then I'm okay with letting her go. I need to kind of let her go and focus on other people, because otherwise I'm just going to stay in this mindset of just being hurt every time I think about her. So in terms of asking her out, I think you need to say something to her, like just one day, just say, I don't know what it is about you, but I feel like there's something different. There's like a different energy or different vibe I'm getting from you. And I really want to know what that's about. What are you doing next week? Let's just hang out one-on-one and see what's up. You want to kind of establish that there is something different that you see there. Because if you don't, then you just keep talking to her like a friend and acting like a friend. And then when they spring up, hey, I like you, it's not going to go well. So Soda Pop says, this is the Josh Speaks. You're watching the Josh Speaks. Da-da-da-da-da. So I'm just looking through some more of you guys' comments here. And then I want to tell you guys the second date I went on with that girl where, like I said, she turned her face, rejected me. If you haven't already hit the thumbs up on this video, I really appreciate all the thumbs up you guys give. Let's see. Pulse per Naruto. Man, some of these names are hard to read. My crush rejected a kid from my class. I know her name, but I still haven't talked to her. I made her smile with the joke, but I still haven't really talked to her. Okay, so I think you know where this is going. What you need to do next is talk to her. If she rejected someone else, that's fine. Listen, he might not have been the type of guy that she was interested in or the type of guy she wanted to get to know. Or he may just not have presented himself in a way that she really clung to, that she really enjoyed. This gives you the opportunity to display yourself, to put your confidence on display, to show this girl who you are, what you're about, what you like to do, and to take some time to really learn more about her. I know you feel like you're probably nervous or you're weird about it. So you still haven't talked to her. You made her smile with the joke. Yeah, and that's okay. And that's good. I mean, if you can make her smile and you can talk to her more, just get into the habit of doing that. Even if it's just casual, regular conversation for now, just talking to her more is going to make things a whole lot easier for you leading down the path of asking her out. Enster says, your last video made me think. I feel like one to two of questions you pose fall under don't knock it until you try it. Example, you can't absolutely say you don't have time until you enter a relationship. Enster, I think you hit it right on the head there. I think a big piece is that a lot of people tell themselves, I can't handle a relationship, but either they've never been in a relationship before, and maybe there's something else under the surface. Maybe they're nervous about what a relationship entails, or maybe they are afraid of getting rejected, or maybe they are afraid they're not going to be able to balance things. They just have a lot going on. But for the most part, it's like I wouldn't say you can't do something or you're not prepared to do something until you at least approach it, until you at least tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to just talk to people. I'm going to just hang out with people. I'm just going to go on a few dates here and there. You don't have to be on a full-blown relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, calling each other every single day. You don't have to get to that point. All you really need to do is start to dabble in the idea to see if you're comfortable with it and to see if it can fit within your schedule. Thomas Turner says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how awkward was the second date? The second date was a 10, literally a 10, like the most awkward experience ever. But I was desperate. So I'll tell you guys. All right, let me tell you guys that, and then I'll get back to some of your questions again. Let me tell you guys the second piece of that story. So, it's so hot in here. Just got to wipe down. So, like I said, this girl rejected me the first time. She kind of turned away, gave me the cheek. Okay. Months had passed. I really didn't talk to her that much after that first date. I kind of took the hint that she was kind of letting me go, and she kind of took the hint that, okay, this guy is not really for me. But months had passed, and I contacted her again. I hit her up again, and I'm like, hey, I feel like I haven't talked to you or seen you in a long time. Hey, Vince Russo is in here. I don't know if that's the real Vince Russo. If it is, kudos to you, Vince. Thank you for the Attitude Era. But anyway, so I messaged this girl after a long time, and I asked her to hang out once again. Now, this time I was determined. I told myself, I'm not going to freeze up like last time. I'm not going to be weird. I'm not going to be awkward. I know exactly how to talk to her, how to be confident, how to go about doing it. I thought I knew, at least. So I make plans to hang out with her, and the two of us agreed to meet up in, it was a like a bubble tea kind of place you get like bubble tea and drinks like that. So I said, okay, cool. So I told myself, okay, I don't really drink bubble tea, but I'll meet her there anyway. So we get to this bubble tea place. I meet her there. It's near her house. And we sit down, and I got like a whatever drink at the time just to get a drink. Both of us are sitting down. She has a bag with her, and she's like, oh, hey, how's it going? We do a little bit of catch up. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to make a move. I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to flirt with her. And she goes into her bag, and she pulls out a bunch of pamphlets. And I'm like, what is she doing? She pulls out a bunch of pamphlets, which are pamphlets for like nutritional supplements. And as I'm sitting there, I'm looking at these pamphlets, and I'm like, what the heck is she doing? And she's laying all these pamphlets out on the table, and she's like, so I wanted to meet up with you to talk to you about these different nutritional supplements that I'm selling that you can order through me and stuff, and they're vitamins and this and that. And I just sat there thinking, oh my God, she agreed to hang out with me to try to sell me supplements, nutritional supplements. And I'm sitting there going, oh, wow, this is weird. And she, not a blink of an eye, just, oh, yeah. So we have this kind, and this is vitamin A. Oh, and these are good for bones. And this is this and this. And I'm just like, this girl. So I'm curious to know from your guys' perspective. I don't think any of you have ever been in a situation like that, but have you ever felt like you were led on by someone that you liked, that you thought they were showing interest in you, and you thought things were going well, but it turned out it wasn't. It turned out either they were just trying to hang out with you or talk to you to get attention, or that they maybe were trying to make someone else jealous, and you felt kind of used by someone that you like. In that moment, I felt incredibly used. I felt like, okay, this girl really just wanted me to hang out so she can get me to buy some vitamin A pills or whatever it is. So it was a weird experience. And I stood there and I kept telling myself, do I just stand up and walk out? Or do I keep hanging out with her? And well, what happened might surprise you guys. I'm curious to know. I want to jump to the chat on this one. What do you guys think I did? Do you guys think I called her out on it for inviting me just to look at these nutrition things? Do you think I called her out on it and said, hey, what the hell is that? What are you doing? Do you think I just pretended like it didn't exist and kept hanging out with her? Do you guys think I just got up and stormed out and didn't say anything? I want to know what you guys think I did. Do you think I reacted, didn't react, kept hanging out with her? I want to hear what you guys have to say in the chat. I think it's funny because what I did choose to do, I look back and it's like, okay, maybe that wasn't the best decision. Vince Russo saying you should have said, sorry, I only do hard drugs. But that wouldn't be right either. I don't do hard drugs. Did you take the pills? I didn't buy anything, guys. I didn't buy any nutritional supplements. Ajax is saying you dipped 100%. Playing around Malik says you walked out. Brandon says you kept hanging out with her. Vince Russo says you smashed 100%. Oh, Vince. Faithful King says, I think you just went with it and heard about the pills. Deadly Bomber says you had no idea that she was doing that. Rich says you keep hanging out with her. You missed her, so any moments with her counts. You guys are giving some really interesting answers. I think some of them are very close to what happened. Some of them are realistic, like what a person would do. So I'll tell you guys what through her pills. Deal says, "Did you pull out in time?" Oh, Vince. Okay. So anyway, what ended kind of call her out on it. I was like, me only to try to get me to buy these nutritional supplements. And in that moment, I think she felt a bit caught. And she's like, no, no, I didn't invite you here just for that. I invited you here to hang out. But this was something that I thought you'd be interested in. So I wanted to just kind of show it to you to see if it's something you wanted to see. So in that moment, she kind of felt a little weird. It was awkward as hell for the both of us. Like, I didn't really know what to say. I don't think she knew what to say. And after a while, she's like, okay, I'm just going to kind of like put them away. She put all the pamphlets away, put all the little sample bottles away, and the two of us just kept talking. But at that point, it felt so weird because I felt like, and we kept hanging out, and I felt like, okay, is she only hanging out with me to later pull something else out? Is she going to pull out like, I don't know, is she going to pull out like something by Billy Mays, like the magic mop? It's like, hey, Josh, Billy Mays here. Check out this magic mop. Like, was that going to happen or not? But anyway, so we kept hanging out. And the reason why I stayed is because I did like her. I did want to see where things can go. And I felt like I was a bit determined. So I told myself, okay, fine. I kept hanging out with her. So as the night went on, I made the exact same mistake as the first time. I started to freeze up. I started to spend time in my own head. I started to overthink things. And guess what, guys? The result was exactly the same. By the end of the night, when I brought her to her door and I went for the kiss, she gave me the cheek again. Now I started to feel like, hey, at this point, it's my own fault. I felt a little thrown off because of the nutritional pills thing. She was a salesperson. She was, selling these things on commission or whatever. But still, she didn't tell me that early on. It was I felt kind of like it was thrown on me, but it was incredibly weird. Either way, at the end of the night, she gave me the cheek and I ended up going home again, feeling like, I missed my opportunity. I got rejected twice. This sucks. So I'm curious to know, guys, how many of you guys have gotten rejected multiple times by your crush or multiple times by someone that you wanted to pursue? Whether you've asked them out several times and they've just said no, or you've kind of hinted at hanging out with them and they just kind of keep giving you that, no, I'm too busy. No, I don't want to hang out with you. No, I have a boyfriend. No, I'm doing this. No, I'm doing that. I mean, I got hit twice with rejection and it stung, guys. It was those dates were incredibly, incredibly awkward. But what I really learned from that experience going on those dates was that it's important to kind of put on display what you want and to not spend the whole time in your head, because when you start doing that, when you start to overthink things, you don't act. If you're thinking, you're not acting. And I think for me, it's because I didn't act. She just gave up. She just figured after a while, like, this guy isn't going to make a move. This guy isn't going to do anything. And that's that. And that's kind of where I was. Yeah, right? Okay, so Thomas does hear the police or fire trucks or whatever it is outside. They keep passing by. So I have to leave the window open. I'm going to sweat to death. But either way, so that's kind of what happened. So RB's saying King Fire's 1 zillion million times rejected. 2 words. Brandon said 2 words, friend zone. Faithful King says lonely squad. Playing around with Malik, rejected. So let's see. Would you ever date a Hindo? What's a Hindo? You talk too much and the police are coming for you. Yeah, right? The police are like, Josh, no more advice. Josh, I texted my friend. Cool, man, cool. Are you ever going to show your transcripts? I have my high school transcript. I could show that. Maybe there's a way I can get my college transcripts, but I definitely have my high school transcript. I'm definitely going to do a video on that. That'll be fun. I'll do that around like grades season, testing season. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Exactly, Vince. Exactly. But he says, I never got rejected. I hid the body and they say no. Oh, Vince. But yeah, Muslim lady. Yeah, currently I'm married, but I would date a Muslim lady, I guess. Why not? When I tried to ask a girl out for the first time, it felt so heavy and the adrenaline, and it also felt like you just got jump scared. Yeah, definitely. Asking someone out for the first time is an incredibly scary thing to do, but it's so crucial for you to be able to kind of like step out of your own comfort zone sometimes and to push yourself, because that's the only place that you're going to learn. It's like, even if the person you're asking out says no, you can still pat yourself on the back and say, listen, I went for it. Maybe next time I need to invest a little bit more time talking to them, or maybe I need to invest a little bit more time flirting or just being around them more. You really start to learn what you should tweak and what you should fix as you spend more time with that person. But that was kind of the first real story that I wanted to share with you guys. I want to answer a few more questions, and then I want to get into my second story because this is something that happened to me in high school, and I feel kind of bad. I feel kind of bad that I did this to the girl. And I just looking back is like it was a really pathetic move on my part. So I'm going to share a really pathetic story with you guys. But first, I'm going to look at some of the things you guys are saying here in the comments here. Um, Rich Mitch is saying, what's a transcript? So, Rich Mitch, a transcript is basically just like a sheet of all your grades and stuff for your school. So, for example, I have my high school transcript, which has all the classes I took in high school and all the grades that I got. So, I definitely want to show that to you guys, show you guys what kind of a high school student I was. I think it'll be really fun. Let's see. Vince is saying, I'm just joking. My first crush dated my friend, and then he dated her friend. So it sounds like the crushes and the friends, everyone's hopping around everyone else. Rami Dao says, bro, I need a girl since I got five times rejected by real love. But when I'm passing my time, I don't get rejected. But I want to find girls since I'm not social. If I found one, I don't know how to talk to her. Okay. So I'm trying to piece that together. So it sounds to me like you don't know how really to approach girls. You don't know where to look for them. You don't know how to kind of make those interactions happen from the start. Here's what I would suggest doing. There are girls all around you, everywhere. If you're someone that's in school, they sit next to you. They're in the hallways. They're on the bus. They're everywhere. And I think instead of focusing so much on, I'm going to get a girlfriend, I'm going to start dating, I'm going to find someone I love. Instead of focusing on that, the first thing you should focus on is becoming comfortable just talking to girls. I did a video a while back talking all about how I made girl friends when I was in high school and pretty much when I was younger, and how I just established friendships with different girls. And in doing that, the really great thing about doing that was that it allowed me to feel more comfortable around girls, but two, I got an inside look into the mindset of a girl. Whenever I had a girl that I liked, I would ask my female friends and they would kind of give me advice and help me out. And there wasn't any jealousy because the girl that I liked was separate, in a separate world, essentially, from the girls that were my friends. So I would recommend focusing on getting girls that can be your friends first, getting comfortable with that, and then proceeding and looking for someone to date. Playing around with Malik says, Josh, do you have a girlfriend right now? I don't currently have a girlfriend. I do currently have a wife. I'm married. I did a video on this actually. So I'll fill you guys in. The last week of August, I'm going to be traveling for my 1-year anniversary, marriage anniversary, which is really cool. So I won't be doing videos that last week of August. I'm taking that time off. Me and my wife are going to spend time together. But yeah, that's my situation. So that's where I am now. After all the dating and this and that, that's where I've gotten to. Let's see. Bird Boy says, hey, Josh, I'm talking to this one girl, and she basically told me that she likes me, but my friend said that he's dating a girl in band like him, and not him and I. Wait, said that he's dating a girl in band like him and I are, and they talk a lot. How do I find out the truth? All right, let me reread that question here. I'm talking to this one girl, and she basically told me that she likes me, but my friend said that he's dating a girl in band like him and I. So your friends said that he's dating a girl in band like him and I are, and they talk a lot. How did I find out the truth? I think I'm trying to understand. I think what you're trying to say is that actually I have no clue. I have no clue. Like, I'm trying to decipher. If you want to retype the question, maybe I can get a better understanding of it. Thomas Turner says 50% of people are female. Was she on Mars? Josh, do you have a video on how to build your self-confidence? Absolutely, Lyndon. I have a ton of videos on how to build your self-confidence. I have a talk that I did with Evan Carmichael, which would be super helpful for you in becoming more confident and just feeling confident about who you are. I also have a playlist of videos that you should definitely check out, all about confidence. Let's see. Enster says, I already covered that one. Saxy Man says, give me some advice. How do I meet people in community college, friends, and girlfriend? Yep, definitely Saxy Man. I have a few videos. I have one on how to be social in college. You should definitely check out. But I think ultimately college is a different kind of beast than high school or middle school may be. With college, it might be easier to make friends because everyone's kind of on their own a little bit in college, right? It's like with high school, you form cliques and things like that. With college, it isn't the case. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing. Yes, they have friends, but everyone's kind of their own individuals. And that creates an easier opportunity for you to walk up to someone or someone that you're sitting next to in class and just introduce yourself. Tell them what you want your major to be and what you want to do after you graduate. It's totally normal to have a conversation with someone in college, especially when you first meet them about, hey, what's your major? And hey, what kind of degree do you want to get? And what job do you want to get? Because you're in college with that mindset. Where you're going is to eventually graduate, get your degree, and get a job. So talking to someone about those initial things and just learning more about their pursuit is an easy way to start a conversation. Another thing is you can simply just talk about the class itself. You can always say, hey, I'm trying to get your phone number so that I can contact you and you can contact me in case we ever have questions about the class. Most people in college would be totally fine with this because everyone's looking for a study buddy of some sort, and I think it makes it so much easier when everyone's on board. So that's an easy way, I think, to start approaching making friends in class or just in college in general. Josh, do you have a video how to build? Am I planning on growing out a beard? I wish I could. I haven't shaved in like a day or two, but I can't grow out a beard. This is probably how long it's going to get. I got to shave later tonight. Thomas Turner saying, what's a major? So that's a good question. So some of you guys I know aren't in the US. So a lot of these terms like high school, major, transcript, all these things might seem a little different or be different. Maybe for you, it's not college, maybe it's university or uni or whatever you guys call it. But a major is essentially your focus in college. So for example, I focused on business. So I took all the different business courses in college and I got my degree, my bachelor's of arts in business management. So that's kind of what it is. It's essentially what your focus is for college. But I do want to tell you guys about the story that does feel a little bit embarrassing because it was a bit pathetic. And this was in high school. Now, I've shared, thank you, Brandon. Thanks for jumping in. I've shared this story in the past, part of it, where I talked about the girl who friend zoned me, right? My super duper crush in high school, all the back and forth we had, and how, like I wanted her to like me, but she didn't like me, and I thought it was unfair. And then she started to like my friend, and I got jealous and angry with her. So there was a whole lot of things that happened between me and this girl. Short story is I got super friend zoned, and it bothered me whenever she talked to another guy or talked about another guy. So here's where the first date that was so awkward and kind of pathetic comes in. I remember telling her, like, once I found out she liked my friend, I said, that's not fair. It's not fair that you like him and not me because I give you all the attention. I'm there for you. I listen to you, and he doesn't do any of that. So why do you like him? So I'm curious. I want to do a quick chat poll here. Have you ever felt angry at your crush for not liking you back? For maybe either just seeing you as a friend or for just not wanting to date you? Because that's where I was. I was angry at her and I was upset and annoyed because she didn't like me back, which is not fair to her. She's entitled to not like me back, but I was upset with that. And so for those of you guys that have been in the situation, post a thumbs up or just write, hey, it happened to me. Yes, anything you want in the chat here if you've been in that situation. But I remember telling her when she told me that she liked my friend, I said, just give me one date. Go on one date with me. That's all I ask. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. But just give me one date. It's only fair. I felt like I was entitled to a date, like she had to give me a date because I was kind to her, which is weird. It's a pathetic way to look at things. No one owes anyone anything. Just because I liked her doesn't mean she had to ever agree to go on a date with me. But she felt bad for me. She was my friend, and she said, okay, I'll go on a date with you because, I don't want to hurt your feelings. So essentially it was a pity date, guys. I got a pity date from a girl who friend zoned me in high school. So let me tell you about this date. I want to look at what you guys are saying here first. So everyone's writing, yes, yes, yes. This story, Lyndon is like, this story. Rich is saying she did like me back, but to preserve her public image, she ignored me and pretended not to like me. That sucks, man. That's really hard. Moonstrike says my crush kind of just didn't want to hand, and honestly, I was just salty, not mad though. Yeah, I mean, not mad as in like pissed off, but like salty, like annoyed and just like upset, just by the fact that, wow, this girl doesn't want to give me the time of day. Like, that's not cool. So anyway, so we agree to go on this date. After school one day, there's this pizza place, and the two of us decide, okay, we're going to go grab a slice of pizza at this pizza place. So we walk on over, and I go to meet up with her. And what's sad is that, like, in my mind, I felt like I was totally in the right, even though I wasn't, right? I kind of like coerced her into going on this date with me. So she meets up with me and she's like, oh, okay, let's go grab pizza. And I'm thinking the whole time, this is perfect. We're on a date. She's going to love me by the end of this. We're going to be perfect for each other. We go grab our slices of pizza. And here's the thing. We were friends before any of my feelings kind of rose to the surface. And our conversations were normal. We talked about anything. But now that I had made things weird by kind of yelling at her and getting upset with her, like when we sat down to eat those slices of pizza, man, it was so quiet and so weird. Neither one of us knew what to say. I sat there thinking like, what do I say to get her to like me? And she sat there, I'm sure, thinking like, when is this date going to be over? I don't know what was going through her mind, but I can assume that's what it was. Vince Russo saying you ruined your friendship with a nice girl. Absolutely. I mean, the thing is we stayed friends over the years, but I think it's like I kept pushing it and kept forcing there to be a relationship. And I just didn't want to make the decision of either accepting just being friends or letting her go. Honestly, the best thing would have been for me to just let her go, but I just didn't want to kind of come to accept that. And that's something I want you guys to really think about too. Like, sometimes it's important for you to let go of the girls that you've been friends on by. You just have to do it if you want to move on and progress. But anyway, so we sat there eating pizza in silence. It was just so awkward. But I kept thinking to myself, this is awesome. We're on a date. This is perfect. By the end of it, I asked her, I'm like, so do you want to like go hang out, go for a walk, go do something? And she's like, no, I gotta head home. It's kind of late. It was like maybe 4:00, right? We got out of school like 3:00. It was about 4:00. She's like, yeah, I gotta head home. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, can I call you while you walk home? Can I call you while you take the train? And she's like, no, it's okay. I'm just I gotta do stuff. I gotta head home. And I kept pushing it. And eventually she's just like, oh no, look, I just want to go home. I don't want to talk. I just want to go home. And then the next day in school, I pretended like it was great. I was like, hey, that was awesome. We went on a date. You want to go on another date? And she's like, yeah, I mean, look, I just see you as a friend. It wouldn't be right. It's not fair. Thomas Turner saying 4 is very late. I mean, we get out of school like 3 and it was 4:00. So it wasn't so late. It was still sunny out. But yeah, man, like it was just bad. It was really, really bad. It was such an awkward date. Like I just like can clearly remember sitting there, just eating the pizza and just like not talking to each other, not even like making eye contact. We just kind of like sat down and ate, looked around, and maybe there was a casual, so how's everything? Oh, it's good. That once in a while, but literally it was so silent and so awkward and so weird. So what did I learn from that experience? I want to share that with you guys. What I learned from that experience really was that it's important to let someone go when you see that. Vince Russo saying, no offense, how could you be so stupid, Josh? Exactly. I look back at my old self and I think, how could I be so stupid? I think a big reason why was because I was so infatuated with her, right? Like I just couldn't get over her. I couldn't move on because I liked her so much. And because she was giving me any kind of attention, she was just talking to me or being friendly to me. I always took that as a sign of interest. And that was the problem. A lot of guys and a lot of girls too tend to take any kind of conversation with their crush as a sign of interest, and they start to play it up more in their heads. So if their crush just says, hey, how's it going? They take that to mean like, why did they say, hey, why did they message me? Why did they do this? And they start to overthink everything. So that was kind of the position I was in with that girl. It was bad. Luckily, as the years went on, we smoothed things out. We're okay friends now. That's fine. But man, I really was hard on her. But I do want to hear what you guys have to say. I think a lot of you guys are roasting me in here. I want to see what you guys are saying. Thomas Turner saying, how long did the date last? Maybe about 30-40 minutes. We were together eating pizza, hanging out. It really didn't go all that long. Bird Boy is following up. He said, okay, all 3 of us are in band, and my friend said he's dating a girl in band, but the girl he talks to a lot basically told me that she likes me. How do I find out if they're dating or not? That's a good question. So I came out, not so much what I came up with, but there's a trick that I like to suggest that people do. It's called the dating question or the boyfriend question. Basically what you do is this: when you're talking to someone and you want to figure out whether or not they have a girlfriend or boyfriend, instead of saying, hey, do you have a girlfriend or boyfriend? Imply they have a girlfriend or boyfriend, and then they'll correct you. So here's how it works. Let's say you're talking to a girl and you want to know if she has a boyfriend. You can say, hey, what's a movie that just came out? I don't even know a movie that just came out. Let's say Deadpool 3. It's not even a movie, but let's say Deadpool 3. You could say something like, hey, have you seen Deadpool 3 yet? Are you going to go watch Deadpool 3 with your boyfriend? Now, I'm implying she has a boyfriend. So what is she going to do? She's either going to say, no, I don't have a boyfriend. Or she's going to say, yes, I have a boyfriend and we're probably going to go watch it. Or I have a boyfriend. Like, no, we're probably not going to go watch it. She's going to speak either to correct you and tell you she doesn't have a boyfriend, or she's going to say, yes, I have a boyfriend and we're doing X, Y, Z. So you never directly asked, you indirectly asked by implying it. And then she corrected you. It doesn't come off weird. It doesn't come off like you're begging. It just comes off like it's a casual, normal conversation. So that's the boyfriend trick question that I always suggest. So Vince Russo saying, honestly, when you're in a friend zone, talk to her friends and learn if she likes you rather than ruin your friendship. Absolutely, absolutely. The more information you have, the easier it is to kind of go about that. Thomas Turner, what type of pizza did you have? I don't know at the time. Girl, what should I do? Vulture, that's a good question. I've done a few videos on dating someone. I'm assuming that you're not Christian. I've done a few videos on dating outside of your religion, which you might want to check out. But ultimately, you have to ask yourself, what do you have in common with that girl? Maybe you guys have different religions, but do you have the same values? Are your values, Vulture, to be kind, compassionate, and caring towards other people? If she shares those values, it doesn't matter if she's Christian or Muslim or Buddhist or Jewish or whatever she is, whatever she ends up being. If you guys share those common values of care, kindness, and compassion, then you can still connect with her. Yes, it might be weird because you may have conflicts over religion, but you guys can still find common ground for you to connect over. So I want to jump into the third story here because it's similar to the first one I shared. It was incredibly awkward, incredibly weird experience, but it's a fun one I want to share with you guys. So there was this girl, right, that I met through one of my friends. Now, at the time, my friend didn't like introducing me to any of his female friends because he always felt like whenever he brought females around that I would steal them from him or our friends would steal them from him. So he was always kind of secretive and protective over the girls that he knew. But he ended up introducing me to this one girl. And she was cool. She was like a rocker chick and she was into wrestling and all these different things. Started to get to know her. We would talk online here and there and we became good friends. Good friends to the point where it's like, like I started to like her. I'm like, oh, she's really cute. I should hang out with her. And we decided to kind of hang out one day. Now, she invited me out. She's like, now here's the thing. And here's something I want to tell you guys. If a girl ever invites you to hang out, right, and says, hey, you should come hang out, always ask what you and her will be doing. Say something like, so what do you have planned for you and me? Because you want to make sure that she's not inviting you to hang out, but she also invited like 5 other guys and it's going to be a group of guys hanging out. Because I've been in that situation. That's kind of this story, essentially. Where this girl asked me to hang out. She's like, oh, you should come hang out with me. We're going to go do this, this, and this. We'll go to the city. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll go with her. When I showed up to go meet up with her, 2 of her other guy friends were there. And I guess she told them the exact same thing. So it was me and like 2 other guys. And it's like, this is weird. I think all of us like her. We're all here to kind of get her individual attention, but we're all here. So, and I think she just enjoyed a lot of male attention. Anyway, so I agreed to hang out with her. This was our first date. And we're walking and talking. And I remember I kept like walking ahead of the other 2 guys with her. So it was like me and her kind of walking alone while the other 2 guys were in the back. And I'm like, okay, this is how I'm going to play this game. This is how I'm going to, get to know her without these guys interfering. Another time, so then we hung out. It was a fun date. I hung out with all her friends. I said bye to them. So another time, she invites me over to her house. Like I said, find out first if there are going to be other people there. She's like, oh, you should come hang out at my house. And I'm thinking, this is it, guys. I'm going to hang out with this girl. Everything's going to go good. Oh, gosh, Josh, you met some shitty girls. Yeah, look, I mean, this is only a few and far in between over the years. I've met so many awesome people, so many awesome girls and guys and people that are so kind and caring and respectful. But I share these specific stories, which are kind of like the fails and the rejections and this and that, because I want to kind of help you guys avoid making these type of mistakes, to learn from my mistakes and to kind of course correct so you don't run into the same situations. But anyway, so I went to hang out with her at her house. I'm like, yeah, this is it. And one of the guys was there hanging out too. And it's like, I wish you told me beforehand. This is weird. I remember sitting there. Was she a prostitute? No, she just liked hanging out with big groups of people. But she would talk to me as if it was just me and her hanging out. So I would get this flirty vibe from her, like, hey, she wants to hang out with me one-on-one, and then find out that wasn't the case. Now, here is the awkward part of the story. Here's the awkward part of hanging out. Another time, she does the same thing, invites me, and there are three other guys there with her, three of her guy friends. Me, her, and three other guys. So there's five of us in total, right? I would have said threesome. There's about five of us in total. So we're walking around her neighborhood, just kind of walking down the streets and stuff. And we decided to go to like a corner store and get like Arizona iced teas or whatever we were going to get, drinks and food and snacks and stuff. So we walk in the store, and now in the grocery store, on the counter, there's a bunch of like random items. They're random things like lighters and matches and things like that. And sitting on a shelf right next to her, or next to the counter guy, is this thing called horny goat weed. I'd never heard of horny goat weed before. I don't know anyone who's ever heard of horny goat weed before, but we see this horny goat weed, and she and her friends start laughing, and they're like, oh my God, like, what the heck is this horny goat weed? And then the guy is like, oh, it's this thing, and it helps you with your sex life and blah, blah, blah. So they really decided to buy the little package of horny goat weed. And I'm thinking, I don't want to do this. There's like three other guys here. I'm here to hang out with this girl. I don't want to sit around with a bunch of guys and do this horny goat weed thing. So anyway, we get to her house. We go to her basement where there's like a laundry room, and we're standing in the laundry room. It's a tiny little room with five of us packed in there. And each of them are breaking off the horny goat weed and then eating it. And they're like, okay, guys, we're going to all take the horny goat weed. And I'm standing there going, I am not taking the horny goat weed. I will pass on the horny goat weed. Yuki's saying, I've told this story already. Yep, absolutely, Yuki. This is a story I shared in either one of the past streams, but I wanted to bring it up again because it's just so awkward and weird. But I kept telling myself, like, the reason why I didn't leave, I think, and the reason why I kept hanging out with her was simply because I was hoping that maybe things would be different. I thought that any attention I got from this girl was positive attention, and that wasn't the truth. The truth is that she just enjoyed my attention. She just enjoyed me being there. So I was kind of being played like a sucker a little bit. But anyway, so we're standing there. Four of these people, the girl and the three guys, have now taken the horny goat weed, and we're standing around all looking at each other. No one's saying anything, and they keep looking down at their pants, and they keep saying, hey, bro, do you have an erection yet? I don't have an erection. Did you get an erection? Did you get one? And I'm just sitting there going, this is my life. I'm standing around in a tiny little laundry room with a girl that I want to talk to and three guys who have taken horny goat weed and are asking each other if they have erections. This is my life. Yeah, anyway, so that was perhaps one of the most awkward dates, first dates even, that I went on. Because I remember after a while, I just couldn't take it. I had to tap out. I'm like, yeah, I got to go home, guys. And they're like, oh, but we want to see if we get erections from this. And I'm like, I'm not curious if any of you guys get erections. I'm not really curious. I know she's not going to get an erection, but I'm not curious if you guys get one. And then from there, I went home. I did not. I didn't take the horny goat weed. Horny goat weed. What is that? Anyway, so I didn't take it. I didn't do that. But at the end of the whole experience, I remember going home and just thinking to myself, man, like, why do I keep hyping myself up? It's like any attention I get from this girl, I keep hyping it up thinking it's more than it is. And I realized the major flaw in my entire plan. And this is something you definitely want to listen to, guys. The major flaw in my entire plan is that I never made it obvious that I liked her. I never actually made a move. I never actually told her. I never actually asked her to hang out one-on-one. I was always waiting for her to give me the go-ahead to hang out with her. I was never proactive. I was always reactive. And because I was always reactive, she never took the hint that I was interested in her. She just saw me as just like one of the other guys, minus the horny goat weed. I was just like all the other guys, just another guy. And she was a beautiful girl, and she had guys talking to her all the time. But because I wasn't proactive, I was just another guy. So that, I think, is the biggest takeaway here. If you go out on a date with someone, if you want to hang out with your crush, if you want to hang out with someone, you need to be proactive. You need to kind of show them how you feel. Don't sit and wait and look for signs and just hope, because that's what I did. It did not work out for me. I want to look at a few more of you guys' questions here, but I do also want to say that right after this live stream, I'm going to be doing an Instagram after party. Now, some of you know what the Instagram after party is. Some of you don't. If you follow me over on Instagram, I go live right after this stream. And it's more laid back, more casual. I bring a few people on to do video chats and stuff. All the cool people go to the Instagram after party. So if you want to be part of the cool kids club, you got to join the Instagram after party. Follow me over on Instagram, guys. The Josh Speaks, like I said, on everything pretty much. But follow me over there. We'll continue the stream afterwards. And I want to look at the rest. I want to go through a bunch of you guys' questions. I see you guys saying stuff. Vince Russo here is a character. So thank you, Vince, for making this fun. So Jish11 says, admittedly, Vic Suku said, I think that the poem was a strange move, physical gifts, especially. Oh, okay. So this is the first piece of this. Okay. Vic Suku says, I was close friends with her, gave her a poem a week before her birthday. We became closer. One day she got mad at me, told her mutual friend that I came on too strong. I apologize for it, but we haven't spoken since. Yeah. So that's the thing, Vic. Sometimes people do things they confess their love to someone. It's overbearing. It's just like, it's overwhelming for these people to experience it. And especially if you're going from just being friends to immediately trying to ask them out or immediately trying to build something, it's not going to work because it's too much of a change. You need to slowly and gradually transition into dating, transition into hanging out one-on-one. And that starts with being flirty little by little. A Gamer says, Josh, do any of your past dates crushes watch your video? I have no clue. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. If any of the people who I've talked about have watched any of these videos, then by all means, hey, check it out. Share your thoughts. I do know that my first girlfriend, which I did a video series on, told me that she did see the videos that I made on her and she thought they were fine. She didn't have a problem with it. And my goal here isn't to trash talk anyone or to say anything mean. I'm just trying to share my experiences and the weird things that's happened over the years. Rich Mitch says, horny goat weed won't make you a cool kid, but Josh's Instagram party will. Absolutely, man. All the cool kids are at the Instagram after party. And guess what? We are not doing horny goat weed at the Instagram after party. So if you're looking for some of that, I would look elsewhere. So Vulture says, yes, I'm sorry, Vulture. I saw you keep jumping in there. You said we're both Christian. So since you're both Christian, you guys have a shared value system, right? You guys have shared belief. And I think that the fact that maybe she's religious or you're religious shouldn't deter you in any way. I think that it's totally fine if, you're both religious or maybe you're different levels of religious, but you should still be able to communicate and connect with her. Let's see. I'm just looking through. So, hey, Xander, what's up, man? We should do a collab type video, like send me like 20 or something basic questions. I'll do the same. Yeah, Xander, I'm going to do another fan collab soon. So I definitely want you to be a part of that, man. I love doing fan collabs and including you guys in the mix. Thomas Turner saying, Vince, what do you mean by smash? So smash is kind of another word for like having sex, right? So someone says, yo, I smashed this girl or we smashed. They meant like I had sex with this girl or we had sex or something like that. That's basically what smash means. Deadly Bomber says, what do you say to your friend that is a girl and they asked you out and you don't really like her, but you don't like her back? What do you say to keep your relationship as just friends? That's a good question, Deadly Bomber. If someone's asking you out and they like you, but you don't really like them, I did a video on this called How to Reject Someone in High School, but ultimately what I would say is this: you need to let them know that you view them as a friend and that you don't want to ruin the friendship that you have. And if they're okay with that, then you guys can stay friends. If they're not, then they have to think things through on their own. I would make that as clear as possible, because if you know a person likes you and you don't do anything or say anything about it, they're going to, like I said, they're going to interpret everything. They're going to interpret every time you talk to them, every time you smile at them, or every time you look at them as a sign of interest. So to avoid all of that miscommunication and confusion, just let them know right now that you see them as a friend and that's all you want from them. So what's tonight? It's not potato. Tonight is horny goat weed. If you shoot me a DM, everyone shoot me a DM on Instagram saying horny goat weed. I think that is the odd thing of the night. But yeah, so look, these really awkward first dates that I had, it's like, in some instances, they were my fault because I forced people to feel awkward. In other instances, I was caught in an awkward situation. But I know for a lot of you guys, in the beginning, a lot of you guys gave a thumbs down and said, you've never had your first date. You've never been on a first date. And this is what I really want you guys to know. It's that you don't have to be worried or nervous about going on a first date. A first date doesn't determine anything. It's just the first time you guys are coming together. And look, you might be a little nervous. You might feel a little weird on that first date. And that's okay. That's normal. Every single time I went on a first date with someone, I was nervous because I didn't know what to expect. But as you get to know a person a little bit better, it becomes easier, guys. It becomes easier for you to it becomes easier for you guys to kind of start to feel more comfortable around them, really start to build something. So if you're worried that you're never going to have your first date or you're never going to find someone that's going to like you, don't worry, give it time. It'll happen. You just got to keep displaying your level of confidence and being your best self. If you send a DM saying corny weed, man, I don't even know. Is it even goat weed at that point? Fudge is saying, how do I talk to a girl that doesn't want to talk to me? That's a good question, Fudge. If you want to talk to a girl that doesn't want to talk to you, the best thing for you to do is to recognize first why she doesn't want to talk to you. Did you do something or say something? Did you creep her out? Did you act weird in front of her friends? What is the reason why she doesn't want to talk to you? And then give her space. Really, like, let her see that you're just a normal guy in observation, but don't push it. Don't force it. Don't be upset with her. You can't force a connection to happen. It's just not the way it works. Vic Suku says, we start back classes August 27th. When that day where she unfollowed me on Instagram, I'm tempted to follow her back, but I think it would be too much to refollow her. Yep, I would say it's too much to refollow her too. I think that she said she unfollowed you. Yeah. If she unfollowed you perhaps for a reason. I would go back and look at the conversations you guys had and see what that's all about. See if you guys fought about something or if you argued, whatever it may be. But really try to rethink what happened and then ask yourself, it's like, is there any other way I can talk to her, maybe in person or something like that, to kind of keep it going? The Craft Kid says, Josh, how do you stop people from judging you for being with a girl that's slightly unpopular? So the Craft Kids, I actually have a video I did on that exact topic, all about what to do if your friends are making fun of the person you like or the person you're dating. Ultimately, what I think is this. If you like that girl and you like her, it doesn't matter if she's popular or not. If you have a real solid bond with her and your friends can't accept that or understand it, then don't talk to them about it. Don't bring her around. Don't even spend less time with them, because work on building your connection with people that you care about and people that you really, really connect with. If your friends are not on board with that and they can't accept that, then they're not being real friends. And I would talk to them about it, let them know what's important to you. Let's see. Have any of you guys felt like you want to disappear? What do you mean by disappear? You mean like Thanos disappear? Let's see. All right, one more question here. AJ Keith says, how do I talk to a girl that I add on Snapchat that doesn't know me? AJ Keith, I have a video on that exact topic coming out in the beginning of September, all about how to message someone, how to text someone that you've never talked to before. And I'll give you a quick little gist here. If you're trying to message someone on Snapchat that you've never talked to before, try commenting, chatting through something that they post. If you can interact with their content first, that's a good way to kind of get seen by them, because they'll see that you are observing them, you're paying attention to them, you're interacting with them that way. Rather than just sending them a cold, hey, what's up, how are you? Interact with their content. I feel like it's a better way to go about it. All right, guys, on that note, like I said, head on over to Instagram. Go follow me over there, guys. Instagram is the Josh Speaks. We're going to be doing the Instagram after party. All the cool kids are there. It's a lot of fun, a lot more laid back too, chat. But thank you guys again for being a part of this. I hope my stories were helpful. I hope that me sharing my stories about my really awkward first dates was helpful for you guys. On that note, guys, I will catch you tomorrow. Just a quick note. Tomorrow, I have a video coming out. It's a collab video with Coco Chanel. I don't know how many of you guys watch Coco or like Coco. I love her. I think her videos are great. So I was so happy that we can connect again and do another video. You guys will see that collab tomorrow. It's all about how to kiss a girl for the first time. Check it out, guys. I'll see you over on Instagram. On that note, I'll see you next time. As always, love and peace. Catch you guys later. Oh, where's the exit? There it is.